Our lab had been doing a lot of work on weaning and the stress of weaning because it's one of the biggest stressors that calves endure in their life. It's probably bigger than dehorning and castration and transport, all those things we do. But weaning stress is the biggest, and our lab has been working on ways to reduce that. So after we were doing that for a number of years, different kinds of projects, Derek Haley came to join our lab to work on his PhD. And Derek asked, what do the calves really complain about? What is it that bothers them? Is it the loss of the mother, or is it the loss of the milk? So we thought about ways you could take away the milk. You could put a bra on the cow, or you could maybe give a hormone to interfere with milk production, or you could put these little nose tags in, and it keeps the calf from nursing on the cow. So we knew those devices were available, and we brought them in to see what would happen as far as the weaning process. Well, we put tags in at sort of stage 1, and we watched to see what happened. Taking away the milk, it didn't cause any distress. And we said, okay, now we'll do the separation and see what happens. And nobody complained. We already weaned them. If you shut off the milk for 4 days or 5 days, they're already weaned.
I would definitely recommend it because of the fact that you get away from the sickness problem and the pacing and the bawling and everything else, and it just works. It works excellent.
This year we decided to use the weaning paddles again. I like how much less stress there is. Once you take the paddles out, they go on a lot faster. There's less bawling. This year, there's virtually no pacing of the pen.
It replicates what we'd expect to see in nature. Most mammals are programmed to know that one day milk is going to disappear. What they're not programmed to understand is that milk and mother disappear on the same day. That just typically doesn't happen. So with this 2-stage weaning and using those nose flaps, we just replicated what would happen in sort of a natural weaning process.
We've been doing it probably for about 8 years now. And our interest in using them was really because of my research in respiratory disease and the understanding that respiratory disease is a complex. It's not just about the pathogens, but it's also what goes on with the animals. And that's where I had an interest in weaning stress as being an important contributor to respiratory disease. So for us in our own herd, in the last 7 or 8 years, we haven't treated a single animal for respiratory disease.
Out of the 150 calves, I would treat probably 30 minimum for some kind of respiratory infections and stuff. And once we started using the nose paddles, I never treated one. And I still don't to this day. I wean them, put them in the pens, and I never treat a calf. That to me says something's working.
The 2 days after weaning, traditionally in the abrupt separation, we see calves walk about 25 miles in those 2 days. With the 2-stage weaning, they're only walking 10 miles. The 2-stage weaned calves spend 25% more time at the feed bunk. Every study that we've done, the week after weaning, 2-stage weaned calves significantly outperform other calves.
When we started using the nose paddles, we noticed immediately the calves would eat. They'd be right into eating the hay, drinking the water, and they would, they would bawl a little bit off and on, but very little. At nights you could go out and it was just like there wasn't an animal in the yard. To put the paddles in is nothing. So I would recommend it to anybody. I would just never cold wean.
2-stage weaning is a very simple process. You have to sort the cows from calves, run the calves through the chute, and you insert a plastic nose flap. It's like twisting open a plastic bread clip. They just twist apart, they're flexible, stick one side in a nostril and flip the other side of the nostril, and they just hang, and they're just to serve as a physical impediment to getting the teat in the mouth. And leave them in for 4 days, 5 days, and bring the calves back through the chute, take out the clips, the nose flaps, and sort the cows and calves, and they're weaned. I get a lot of opportunities to talk to producers about this procedure. And I go on, I'll give them the science, I'll show them the results, and I often tell them, I say, you know what, you don't have to trust me, you don't have to trust the science, just do your own experiment at home. Just wean some of your calves with 2-stage, and some of your calves traditionally. Put them in the same pen and you watch the results. You'll be able to see with your own eyes the difference between those 2 groups of calves. Half of your calves are going to be bawling and walking around, not eating, and the other half of the calves that have been done with with the two-stage weaning are going to be content calves. They're going to be eating, ruminating, resting, not bawling, and not aimlessly walking around the pen. It's so clear. So do your own test at home. Just do part of them, and you'll see the benefits.